Hello, and welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. My name is Vinny.
My name's Matt. Welcome back to part 2 of our 100th episode spectacular clip show.
Bonanza, whatever.
Mr. Bonanza. We sort of have this organized into 3 sections. We're going to talk about like our favorite this or that, episode questions. Then at the end, we've got a couple of off-topic questions, and then we'll close up shop with some questions about the podcast itself. So there you go. These are all coming from our listeners. Thank you so much to everyone who sent in questions. Let's start off with number 1 here, Vinny. Which prop from the first 100 episodes did you guys enjoy the most? This comes from Travers Wendell. Thanks a lot for writing in.
Good question. I got to go with what I perceive to be the first true prop that was the major basis of an episode, and I'm gonna go with the Pez dispenser. And with the caveat that the prop that you could conceivably track down in real life. Some could argue that the statue from season 2 was, the original first prop, and that was the name of an episode. But I don't plan on visiting Singapore anytime soon. So I'm going with the Pez dispenser, and I think that's the first Seinfeld-related gift you gave to me. So
yeah,
heartfelt right here. It's sitting on my mantle here.
There you go. Oh, I think we should... Yep, I hear it. We should point out the windows are being washed across the street, so you're going to hear you're going to hear a truck backing up.
Beep beep beep, backing up.
What are you doing? So apologies if that gets picked up this episode. But good call on the Pez dispenser. I think that is an iconic prop, and it's great when you can buy it in real life and gift it to a friend.
Thank you, buddy.
Excellent. And again, we should preface that all of our answers, for the most part, are coming from the first 99 episodes. We might dip into the next 80, but we're going to try to keep it about the first 99. I'm going with the coffee table book as my favorite prop.
Ooh, yes.
Love the coffee table book. It's so brilliant. I actually am determined to make a coffee table prop with the little legs sometime in the near future. I need to reach out to a couple of friends who are graphic designers. I want to get the cover, the dust jacket.
Cover's got to be identical.
I want to get that made, and just, it could be a book about coffee tables. It could have blank pages inside. I don't care.
Hey, you know what would make a great coffee table book? A coffee table book about coffee tables. Get it?
A few honorable mentions here. These are props I actually have. The pen, the astronaut pen that writes upside down. You have the Kramer painting, but it's a throw.
Yes, it's on my bed.
Yeah, fantastic. I love the Kramer.
Huge.
Oh, God. You were mentioning props in the show that you can buy in real life. There is a prop that has eluded you that you are determined to buy at some point.
Yeah.
If the funds are there. You want to
one that got away.
Tell listeners about it?
I'm determined to spend my hard-earned money and get one of the Superman statues from the show. There's a large and a small version. I want the large because that's what Jerry had. Like the real players wear. And there's only 6,000 in existence. They're individually numbered. Randy Bowen is the artist who made this. But there's some on eBay that I'm watching. But it's kind of pricey, so I'm thinking about it.
Well, these aren't really props so much, but they are next to the Superman statue. I love the VHS tapes.
Oh, yes.
When you have like Arachnophobia, Pretty Woman, Presumed Innocent. There's some Nintendo games up there as well. I just love those props. I'd like to get those movie titles and put on my bookshelf.
Oh, yeah. That was one of our favorite things to explore at the Hulu experience because we went to that stereo shelf and looked and examined which tapes they had, and they had a lot of the ones from the show.
They sure did.
I took a picture of it.
Well, let's move on to another question here from Andy Greenberg. What is your favorite Seinfeld fake movie title? Now, I want to just put a little asterisk there. Since we're talking about the first 99, there aren't a whole lot of fake movie titles mentioned. It's not until the pool guy in season 7 when we get all those incredible ones like Mountain High and Chunnel. So we're a little...
Everybody hear the tunnel!
Maybe we could jump ahead to those later episodes. Like my favorite is Sack Lunch.
Okay.
For throughout the series. But do you have a favorite that's not in the first 99?
My favorite is in the first 99, so I followed the rules.
Oh.
But I would probably say I like Chunnel a lot. for that reason. Larry David. Everybody know the channel.
A Death Blow, Firestorm.
Death Blow is probably up there too. To see Jerry and Mario Joyner walking out of that theater. I like that one a lot.
Let's go back to the first 99 though, Vinny. What is your favorite fake movie title?
For me, it begins and ends with Prognosis Negative. First mention in season 3's the dog. I love the way George says it too. Prognosis negative.
Prognosis negative. Let's go, people. Let's go. It's prognosis negative time.
And I love it even more that it was the name of Larry David's screenplay that was never produced.
Oh, yeah, some good trivia there.
Did you know somebody actually recut that into a trailer? You know those fake trailers they make that are on YouTube? Mm-hmm. Somebody made a fake trailer called Prognosis Negative.
Featuring Seinfeld characters?
It's cut to be like a thriller, but it's called Prognosis Negative.
Did they use that line where in the pilot when George says, negative? Oh, negative's good?
They probably should.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Prognosis negative.
Can we post that maybe?
Yeah, I'll include it in our
good.
show notes if I can find it.
Okay.
Well, I'm going with an all-time classic. It's a movie, a rental from the video store, and it later becomes a Broadway musical. This is Rochelle, Rochelle, a young girl's strange erotic journey from Milan to Minsk.
I hear it's really hot.
The Village Voice calls it a masterpiece. A young woman's strange erotic journey from Milan to Minsk. It's a story about life and love and becoming a woman. Rochelle, Rochelle. Now playing at the Paradise 2.
A lot of subtle nudity in it.
Yeah, that's a great pick too. Some of these I forgot about. Like my mind goes to my favorite, but then I'm like, damn, that's a great pick too.
Yeah. Now going back to the dog and Prognosis Negative, remember Jerry's like, hey, we could go see Ponce de Leon instead. Remember in the movie when Elaine and George are talking about Ponce de Leon, George calls it Ponce de Leon?
Yeah.
Love that. I mean, forgettable movie. I just like that delivery.
I saw on the Seinfeld wiki I was reading, they had a little quote in an interview with Terry Gross from NPR. It said about Prognosis Negative. It's about a single guy who is unable to commit to a relationship. He finds out his ex-girlfriend has 6 months to live and decides it's perfect. He can commit without worrying about the long-term consequences.
That is dark.
Now, how can that not have come from Larry David's mind?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Pure Larry David. And then you find out, yeah, she's okay.
That makes me love this fake movie even more.
Absolutely. That's great. Good trivia there, too. The next question here comes from Josh from Milwaukee. This might be hard to do since this is not an audio podcast, but I was wondering if you two could list your favorite Kramer entrances. So that's
gonna be tough
to describe, but I think people will get it. Fortunately, there is a fantastic montage on YouTube where you can watch all of Kramer's entrances. So if you're not sure what we're talking about, just watch that. You'll figure it out.
There's 6 minutes worth of just entrances. Isn't that amazing?
Incredible. Let's talk about our favorite one, and then we can go over some honorable mentions.
Surely.
What's your favorite Kramer entrance?
My favorite one, I think, has to be from the Label Maker. Label Maker's making a lot of appearances this episode, but it's the one where he's knocking with the back of his head whilst holding the risk board. And then finally, when Jerry opens the door, Kramer throws his head back once again and misses.
Let's take it one step further. He gets to the table and
whoosh, slides with his heel of his foot, slides the newspaper off in one swift motion.
Just brilliant. Well, I'm going with The Boyfriend. And I don't know if any of those come to mind, but it's at the end, after you know all about the drama between Kramer and Keith Hernandez. Keith is in Jerry's apartment sitting at the counter. Kramer enters and immediately does that spin. Just like, what am I looking at right now?
Yeah.
Why is he here?
That's a good one.
Oh, it's so smooth and brilliant. And when you watch the montage, I think it's the first goofy entrance. He slides a little bit and is awkward, but that's the first time there's some sort of surprise. You
made a great point because we watched the montage together. It seems like in the earlier, first 1 or 2 seasons, Kramer comes in very hesitantly, like, are you home? Are you home? Before he kind of kind of gets a sense of what the character is, that he's just supposed to barge in and make this grand entrance. So you really see the evolution of the Kramer entrance. Honorable mentions we got from the marine biologist. He comes in with that monologue. Who wants to have some fun? I just like it because of the monologue to follow. And then remember, he comes in later in the episode with the golf bag, and he throws it down. Do you want these? I don't want them. That's a great one. I love when Kramer got kicked in the head by Joe Davola, and he comes in with half his face shaved as well as only one pant leg on.
Yep.
We got... Remember when Jerry throws the dishwashing gloves in the air? There's nobody has come in yet, and Kramer slides in right on cue, catches it.
Some great bloopers to go with that.
Watch 'em.
Failed attempts.
I think it's either the Visa or the Pick where we see the first like major Kramer slide, where he's like humming on the floor.
Yeah, this is when Jerry calls Kramer. They're ordering Chinese food, and he's like, if you want any, come on over. And before he can finish, Kramer slides in. The coverage, he must slide like 7 or 8 feet. It's incredible.
It's like they put WD-40 on his feet.
Yes.
And then finally, there's a real nice one from the Pick when Jerry and Tia are in his apartment, and she's got the cologne on, or perfume, excuse me. And Jerry goes to block the door. Kramer gets a little bit in, and he turns his head in sideways, and then tilts it up as if to say hello. He's kind of enamored with Tia. So that's another good Kramer entrance.
And one final entrance here. We mentioned yesterday in the contest when he comes in, sulks in and just puts that cash right on the counter.
I'm out.
Great moment. Next question here comes from Holly Eleanor. Big question here. Big. What are your favorite outfits of the Fab Four?
That is a great question.
Absolutely. This is one of my favorite questions we got.
Yeah. Who are we starting with?
Well, how about we start with Jerry, then George, then Elaine, then Kramer.
Okay.
Again, apologies. This is kind of a visual discussion. We'll try to reference the episode. You can go back and check it.
We can describe colors. It's okay.
What's your favorite Jerry outfit from the first 99?
For me, it's the quintessential Jerry outfit. So that would have to be the blue shirt. And I'm not talking about baby blue. I'm talking about the blue collared shirt.
Like
black
the real
jeans.
players wear.
Yes. Black jeans, white sneakers.
Yes, it's classic Jerry.
I seem to recall that. Is that in The Outing, I think? If not The Outing, then one of the first 99.
You can always type in Seinfeld, I think like publicity or promo photos, and you'll just see,
That's it.
Jerry wearing that outfit through all of them.
What's yours?
Well, I have a few here. I mentioned that one, sort of the go-to, but there's some specific outfits. Some are kind of like, unique, and it's part of a joke in a scene. I love the pink and white jacket when it's turned inside out.
Oh, yeah.
I just love that look. It's so funny, and I don't know why I would do this. I would love to make a jacket like that to, like, I don't know, wear it to Seinfeld trivia or something. Also, I love in the Mango, he has this Queens College shirt on. It's the only time he wears it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that logo. I don't know why. It's so different. It's not a button-down, tucked-in shirt, just a T-shirt and jeans.
And that's where he went. Like, that's his real school. So that's probably his real shirt.
Yeah, I like that a lot. You got any more Jerry outfits?
Oh, I do want to recall that you wore the blue shirt, black jeans, and white shoes to the Hulu event, remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Very embarrassing.
It's a good day.
When you show up to the Hulu apartment and you're like, oh, everyone's going to be dressed up. This is going to be great. Everyone's just wearing normal clothes.
It's happened to us multiple times.
What about George? Got any favorite George outfits?
Morning mist, come on. that was just for joke's sake. No, I love when George has the raincoat on and the blue Nikes.
The blue Nikes, which you own, right?
I do. It's a very versatile look because he can either be semi-dressy and have his plaid shirt with khakis on, or he can rock the jeans with a untucked polo. No shave. Feels very uncomfortable. What do you got?
Well, I have one specific outfit, which I'll save for last, but I also have Morning Mist on here. I love the look in the parking spot when he has that like Indiana Jones fedora on, or the Panama hat.
Oh, yes.
Hey, George, nice hat. I think George can always pull off plaid. It just looks so right on Jason Alexander. The worst outfit, I have to say, is in the pilot, like the first episode, the Seinfeld Chronicles. He has this orange shirt on and that like...
Oh, it's a cabbie hat.
Oh, God, it's such a terrible look on him, I think. But one of my favorite looks of George is in The Boyfriend, when he's really stressed out. He also has the raincoat on. He's running around, trying to get to Jerry's apartment in time. I think this is the Vandelay Industry scene, but he comes in and his hair is like sticking straight up. He's got the raincoat on.
That's like a green, like a London fog jacket, right?
I think it's like tan, khaki colored.
Because I'm thinking of the plaid one that he wears, when he works for the Yankees, toward like the middle part of the series is what I'm thinking of.
Right. But ultimately, I think my favorite George outfit is from the dinner party when he comes in, it's scary cold. What's your definition of scary cold?
What is that?
What?
When did you get that?
This week? My father got a deal from a friend of his. It's Gore-Tex. You know about Gore-Tex?
You like saying Gore-Tex, don't you?
Look at you. You can't even turn around in that thing.
Look at this.
Hey, George, can you feel us? Can you...
All right, knock it on!
Gore-Tex, baby, that puffy jacket.
Well played. He likes saying Gore-Tex, doesn't he?
Let's move over to Elaine. What are your favorite Elaine outfits?
I forgot about that one. I got to go with, I like when she wears the flower print dresses or skirts, and then she has like a 90s jacket, with shoulder pads with her Botticellis.
Yes.
When we went to the Brooklyn Cyclones game, they had the Elaine dance contest. That's what all the girls wore. Quintessential Elaine, flower print dress, shoes with some sort of white on top.
Well, remember the cowboy tassels in the early episodes?
Yes, losing out to a couple of cats.
Oh, I don't know what was going on in that. I love this shot of her. It's not really an outfit, but when she comes out of Jerry's apartment in the deal, and she's got that big purple shirt on and the white shoes.
Yeah, ooh.
Oh.
We didn't talk about that.
Well, let's say this. One of our listeners, Greg McCabe, asked us to list our hottest Elaine moments, and we really couldn't make this segment work. So let's just say that moment when she comes out is our hottest Elaine moment. But I think my favorite Elaine outfit comes from The Busboy. One of my least favorite episodes. She comes into the apartment, and there's that really cool like camera swoop into her. She's got the like red winter coat on.
She's wearing her nightie.
But her hair is a mess.
Yes.
And she looks deranged. In fact, really the Elaine costumes or outfits are so hard to figure out. There's so many. There's a great Tumblr page out there, Daily Elaine Bennis Outfits, I think, on Tumblr. Everyone should check that out.
Anytime I hear you say Elaine Bennis now, I think of Bennis.
It's Bennett, right?
Yeah. No, you jackass. I remember also she used to wear the brooch, a different brooch, almost every show on a lapel. That seems to kind of be fading out slowly.
Until we did this podcast, I never noticed them.
Nor did I.
Yeah, all over the place. What about Kramer?
Kramer, I like pretty much every time he has the high-waisted pants, and you can see his white socks, black shoes. But anytime he has on his winter coat, which has the Sherpa lining,
yes,
even as a youngster, I've always wanted that coat. Never could find it. eBay, Etsy, thrift store. I have a feeling that was made specifically for the show, but it's the coolest article of clothing I've ever seen.
What word did you use to describe the lapels?
Sherpa.
Okay, it's like a furry kind of.
Yeah, like a Sherpa lining. Mm-hmm. But damn, is that a fashionable coat.
I love that coat as well. Good call. I forgot about this outfit. It just showed up during a Google search, but it's from the scene early on when Elaine brings the airplane lamp to Jerry. My little airplane lamp.
Yeah.
Kramer has this killer vintage green shirt on that I just love. It reminds me a little bit of Chet's shirt from Curb, but it's green.
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
It's excellent. But my favorite Kramer outfit is a shirt I never noticed until we did this podcast. It shows up in the Chaperone. It's that banana shirt. It's white, and it has these just bananas kind of like going right down the center. It's insane. I love that. Cool. I love that shirt.
Hey, what about his outfit when he is going to play golf with his friends from the embassy?
Oh, yeah, the Cuban embassy.
Vámonos, muchachos!
Excellent. He can really pull off the golfing attire.
Yes, sir, Rebob.
Oh, he's fantastic. Well, next question here comes from a listener, Julian. It's a voicemail, actually, so here we go.
Hey guys, this is Julian in Westchester, Pennsylvania. Had a ranking for you. Wanted to know what you think top 3 African-American characters were on Seinfeld. Looks like there was about 19 or so. I have a list of my top 3. It's an unorthodox list, but from worst to best, we're looking at number 3 is the Breakfast at Tiffany's dude when George went to the apartment. Number 2, Carl the Exterminator. Great episode. And my top one is Rebecca De Mornay. Used to work at a Brentano's. Curious to what you guys think. And I don't know if we should be talking about this. Anyway, love the podcast. Thank you. Bye.
Wow, he's more articulate than we are. He should be doing this.
Now that we're getting to the listener segment or the voicemail segments, I'm like, God almighty.
I don't know if we should be doing this anymore.
Yeah, we talk not good. Good question, though. This is something I'm not sure if we've really brought up on Seinfeld. I know it got brought up during the SNL 40th anniversary. I forget the actress's name, but she stands up when Jerry's presenting, and she's like, we're all the black people on Seinfeld. You know, why aren't there any black actors on Seinfeld? And he's like, mea culpa, sorry.
Yeah.
But what do you say, Vinny? Do you have a list going here? Or
Well, Matt, we really don't like to see characters in terms of color.
Yes.
But I would say I have two favorites, and that really stand out for me. And I got to agree with Julian. Number one would be Robert Hooks, who plays Joe Temple.
Yes.
I want you up here instantly. And then I got to go with Mr. Morgan, Tom Wright.
Yes.
Both George-related characters. Both seem to really despise George. But what I love about Joe Temple is he took a chance. He allows George into his home to watch Breakfast at Tiffany's, even though it goes against his better judgment.
Absolutely. Now, Julian mentioned Rebecca De Mornay, who we haven't gotten to yet, so we're not going to really consider her. Who's the other one he mentioned?
Carl the Exterminator, who we also have not met yet.
There you
and
go.
then Joe Temple.
Joe Temple. Okay, so I would agree, like, series as a whole, I don't know if I'd put Rebecca De Mornay in there, or De Mornay.
Mr. Mooney?
Carl could make the top three, maybe, but
After the blooper we just heard, then yes, he would absolutely be in the top.
really teasing people with that blooper reel. I'm not going to agree with you on Joe Temple. I'm actually going to go with Remy Temple, only because that moment when Joe calls her over and she walks into frame and she's just glaring at George, she doesn't even need to say anything.
That is pretty good.
That look alone, she's one of my favorites. I'm going to push Mr. Morgan aside just to get some more characters mentioned here. I love Larry at Monks.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic actor.
You know me.
Yeah, I wish Larry could have had a bigger role on this show. It's kind of cool how he shows up pretty much once each season. But if we're going to talk about the best African-American character on Seinfeld throughout the entire series, it begins
I know who you're going to say.
And ends with Jackie Childs. Yes, I mean, come on. There's no one better. I mean, the Johnny Cochran parody character, he's not only one of the best, I mean, he's one of the best characters of all time, really.
Phil Morris, right? Now, I kept him off the list because we haven't gotten to him yet.
Of course,
but yes,
not
he's
a fair
probably all-time. And then, hey, we have the Trinidad and Tobago. Jean-Paul.
Jean-Paul, of course.
Mr. Separate Knob himself.
847. As much as I love Seinfeld, it does lack a bit in diversity.
You don't have any black friends. And aside from us, you don't have any white friends either. You know?
Right. Thanks for calling in, Julian. Vinny, next question here. Why don't you take this one?
All right. This one happens to come from a Rusty Dunn, at Rusty_Dunn from Twitter. And this happens to be the same Rusty Dunn who is, in fact, my brother-in-law, who supports and follows the show. So thanks, bro. But Rusty, and you know what? At family gatherings, you know it's coming. I always call him Rusty. So I want you to know a horse named Rusty.
No offense.
But yeah. But Rusty writes in, what is the most uncomfortable pause? Which is kind of a unique question, I think.
Yeah, I assume he means on the show Seinfeld, not our podcast.
No, because then we'd be here all day.
Right.
Mine comes from season 3's The Red Dot, when George is getting fired by Mr. Lippman, and he's consulting his excuse Rolodex as to, to explain why he engaged in sexual intercourse with a woman on his desk.
I'm going to get right to the point. It's come to my attention that you and the cleaning woman have engaged in sexual intercourse on the desk in your office. Is that correct? Who said that? She did. Was that wrong? Should I not have done that?
Now, you have a honorable mention or another one?
I just think this one is worth mentioning because this is one of the biggest, cappers to an episode in the series is the line from the Cheever letters, the ending. You mean the panties your mother laid out for you? And then it leaves Jerry and George speechless. They're actually frozen in time at this reveal, In fact, it's the longest pause. It's a week long until the next episode when we see them respond.
Good point. I will list that as my most comfortable pause because that is one of my favorite scenes from the entire series. Good call.
Right. Well, what's uncomfortable for you then?
My most uncomfortable pause, even though I love it, comes from the pitch.
Okay, look. If you want to just keep doing the same old thing, then maybe this idea is not for you. I, for one, am not going to compromise my artistic integrity. And I'll tell you something else. This is the show, and we're not going to change it. Right?
How about this? I manage a circus.
Artistic integrity? Where'd you come up with that?
You mentioned this yesterday, Vinny, how you like certain moments on Seinfeld because they came from real life. There's some trivia to go with it. And this is something that happened when Jerry and Larry pitched the show. I don't know if Larry walked out exactly, but he was really difficult to work with. No, we're not changing the show.
Yeah.
This is it. And I just love that moment after George walks out and Jerry's left sitting there.
He was very wise to hitch his wagon to his star.
Yes. Let's move over to another question here. This comes from Patrick Zeiders in New York City via email. What do you think is the most egregious ADR? More of a technical type question, but some of them are really fun and strange.
That is a very good question, especially with the recent ADR talk we've had in the past couple weeks. I got two that stick out. Maybe not as egregious, but when I think of ADRs in Seinfeld, these ones come immediately to mind. Contest, season 4, Elaine comes in and says, my friend Joyce is teaching an aerobics class. I'm going to go tonight.
Where's my money? Who caved?
Not me.
Not me.
What are you looking at?
There's a naked woman across the street.
This is going to be the easiest money I've ever made in my life. So my friend Joyce is teaching an aerobics class. I'm going to go tonight.
Yeah, well, the waitress should have taken it back.
Because the audio clearly changes from when she's talking in the apartment to the shot of George and Jerry, and you hear this ADR. Mm-hmm. So that one always kind of ding, 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 that there's an ADR there.
Good point. I didn't really have a good answer for this. I'm just going to pull it from the scofflaw because I think it's so egregious, especially because the camera is right on Jerry when he says this.
Oh, I can't wait to talk to this guy.
Wait a minute. You can't say anything.
Why not?
Because he'll know I told you. Besides, he's giving me a parking spot around the corner for practically nothing.
So you're telling me because you're getting free parking, I got to pretend this guy had cancer when he didn't?
Yeah.
Well, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
Yeah, that was pretty surprising, especially because I for one missed it all these years, and it was very apparent having watched the episode intently.
They should have just cut to the cat,
Yeah, or Kramer's dog. Oh, here, what about the label maker? Our go-to Elaine's Woody Woodpecker impersonation as she's leaving.
Oh, a mom and pop store, but yeah.
Damn, mom and pop store. Thank you. Ha 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 ha.
Again, ADR is very common on TV shows. They just really stand out for some reason on Seinfeld. Next question here comes from John Grossman from Chicago via email. What is your favorite storyline that is based, even loosely, on a real-life experience of Larry David?
I gotta go with bread and butter, contest. The fact that Larry engaged in a contest, I believe he won it. No?
Yeah.
Didn't he win it? And not only do I love that that's a real-life experience from his... He turned it into a show. He won the Emmy for writing. But the story that he told in which that episode came to be, he recalled how they used to write the names of the episodes on the whiteboard for the upcoming season, and the big studio executives would kind of be on the floor asking, "Oh, what's this episode? What's this episode?" And Larry knew that he was going to be questioned about, "Well, what's the contest about?" So he specifically omitted that episode from the board until it was time to shoot that week, and that's one of those episodes that almost didn't make it in because of the subject nature, but the wonderful way in which him and Jerry crafted the episode, it makes it one of the best if not the best Seinfeld episode of all time.
Absolutely. And when Larry hosted SNL last year, or was it this year? I can't remember. I think he brought that up during the opening monologue. Didn't he? Like, I won a contest?
Oh, yeah, right.
I think so,
right.
or an interview recently. So it lives on, past the show.
As well as in a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode when Jason Alexander and Larry are fighting. I was in that masturbation contest. I was in that. So that is my favorite. What's yours?
It's not as classic, but when we got to the episode The Jacket, and we meet Alton Bennis, Lawrence Tierney, and it's this, very awkward, bizarre scene where Jerry and George are waiting for Elaine to arrive. I love the fact that came from Larry David's real life. Alton Bennis was based on his girlfriend's dad, Richard Yates, the author. Larry was dating Monica Yates, who was the inspiration partly for Elaine. So I love the fact that an entire episode was just based on one evening of Larry having dinner with his girlfriend and her temperamental dad. I just love that.
To be a fly on the wall at that actual dinner to see how Larry, handled the scrutiny of a father.
I'm a big fan of that. Next question comes from Patrick Zeiders again in New York City via email. What is your favorite Jerry breaking moment? Excellent question.
Yep.
One of our favorite moments throughout the series is whenever Jerry has to deliver a line and those horse teeth are just sticking out.
We do tend to swoon when Jerry breaks, but I would have to go with the soup. Jerry and George have just left Monk's, and George is thinking about asking out Kelly, the waitress, and they discuss the walk back in, which is the toughest move in the business. And Jerry gives him that push out of frame, and they leave it on Jerry just enough to see him smiling, enjoying, what just transpired. So that's my favorite.
Well, I can't do it, I tell you.
Pull yourself together. You're going in there, soldier. That's an order. Get in there.
You brought up my favorite moment yesterday as one of your favorite quotes.
All right. Just let me finish my coffee. I'm gonna watch him go slice his fat bastard up.
Yes.
And it's all on screen. He's trying to hide that smile with the coffee, with the food, but
if only more, shows had that kind of organic quality to it. You know what I mean? Like, it's so authentic. You can relate. You love it.
Whenever I watch Seinfeld with my wife, she always laughs at what a bad actor Jerry is. But I think that's part of the charm of Seinfeld. Like, he's not an actor.
He's playing himself.
Yeah, why not? Come on. Well, next question here comes via voicemail from Stephen Gamble in Florida.
Hey, how you doing? This is Stephen Gamble. I just called you guys. I'm from Florida, and my question is this. There's 4 members of the main group, the Fab Four we call them. Which one is most dependent upon the group itself, and which one is least dependent upon the group? So the most dependent one would be the one that would never walk away from the group, has incredible loyalty to their peers and as friends, and the one that's least dependent would be the one that could just shrug their shoulders and walk away. I'd like to see what your opinions are. Thank you very much. Bye.
So an interesting question, right?
Yeah.
When you're looking at the main 4, and I didn't know how to answer this at first because isn't Jerry the nucleus? Like, where's he going to go?
Absolutely, yeah. He's the nucleus.
So if Jerry's the nucleus, who do you think is the most dependent on him and who's the least dependent?
I would say George is probably the most dependent. And I'm gonna say Elaine is the least dependent because she is the one who's able to leave the group successfully in the Bizarro Jerry. She's able
for
to
a while.
For a while, yeah. And my justification for George, he asks Elaine, hey, "Can I come?"
We've already got it, George.
He wants to keep that group going.
Sorry to interrupt, but let's take Jerry out of the nucleus camp, right? Like, let's just look at the characters. Like, who's dependent on each other? I think that Kramer is dependent on Jerry.
Yes.
Because of the food and all the mooching he does. And I agree with you on George. I think George really needs a friend. I don't think George is like the solo guy.
Yeah, he's definitely, Jerry's his best friend, so George is dependent on Jerry.
Right. So George, Kramer, dependent. Elaine, definitely least dependent because of her trying to get out. I would put Jerry in the least dependent camp as well. Like,
if Jerry didn't have the group, I think he could thrive on its own, especially being around the comedy scene. He'd have other comics to riff with.
Exactly.
It just so happens he his best friend is this George Costanza.
Absolutely. That's exactly where I fall.
Now, before I heard that voicemail, I thought that who can you depend on? Like, who's most punctual? Who's always going to be there for each other? So my answer was George, right? You put those glasses on a rock, what do people think? Costanza!
So, yeah, there's a difference between dependent and dependable.
Yeah, so, and then I said, that was just for joking's sake. Jerry would seem the most dependable and have his life in order. He has a steady job. He's never got kicked out of his apartment, has a decent relationship with his parents. He seems the most satisfied with his life. You can't say that about any of the others.
Oh, that's a really good point.
And then least dependable, I would have said George with unemployment, the volatile situation at home. But anyway,
good point.
That was me misreading the question.
Well, let's talk about not understanding something. Next question comes from Jared Flynn. What are the worst Matt moments? Times that an obvious joke has been missed or lines misheard either by Matt himself or the general audience. Now, I'm not copping out of this question. I literally couldn't think of any because I'm just that dumb.
There's so many, and I wanted you to remind me of, moments. I know they happen a lot, and I love the fact that it's catching on. It's a Matt moment.
Right.
There's no Vinny moments yet, but there's Matt moments.
Well, I think Matt moments in general, or anytime someone didn't get a joke, there are a lot of them. And I'm sorry, Jared, I'm not copping out. I just can't think of any, really.
I would love to call you out on it, but I can't think of one either.
Well, this kind of is a Matt moment, the fact that I can't remember any.
It's only fitting.
But the good news is that we have 80 more episodes to go. I know I'm going to not get a joke. We get a lot of emails each week having people say, how did you not get this joke? Or how did you not pick up on this?
Well, here's one. How about let's have the listeners write in, post on the social media, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, Gmail. Write in what's your favorite Matt moment is.
Hologram. We're going to get bombarded. It happens, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, but I do like it whenever you give me a nice ribbing,
Yeah. Here's one. Mm-hmm. What was the definition in the dictionary we had to look up? There was a word or phrase.
The tomato route.
Yeah, there we go. We didn't know that.
Now there are two different types of Matt moments. There's, or maybe three. God, I don't know. There's like when we admit we don't get this joke. Oh, Levine. That's probably the biggest offense. In fact, at trivia last night, Eli he was saying, "Hey, I love how you guys did not get that Levine joke," and I told him, like, dude, that has been haunting us ever since the stakeout, because we still get emails to this day explaining he wanted his name to sound less Jewish, and we totally get it. But they're different Matt moments. There's that where you don't get a joke. There's moments where I mishear things a lot.
Yes, that's common.
Oh, here we go. In the dinner party, remember the guy says, big coat. I always thought he said, be cool.
Yeah. There it is. It's coming.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of them. It can be either you mishear something, you didn't get a joke, or you just missed a joke entirely. Please do not write in. Let's move over to another section here. These are questions relating to specific episodes. First question here comes from Robin Fredrickson about the race. She asks, how did it go for Jerry when he represented the school in the bigger race? If you remember, Vinny, Jerry's telling the story. He says, when we were in the 9th grade, they had us all line up at one end of the schoolyard for this big race to see who was going to represent the school in the track meet. So Jerry won that race.
Right.
Did he represent the school in the track meet?
Well, I thought we learned later in the episode that this myth began to grow about his speed. So he didn't want that legend to die. So he chose not to run.
Exactly.
So we answer you in the same way he answered everybody else.
I choose not to run. Really great.
Yeah, there we go.
That's what I figured too. Later on, he's like, in 4 years of high school, I'd never race anyone again. So he must have gotten out of the big track meet.
In a way, it's funny that the fact that he, won this race illegitimately, it kind of hindered him. He wasn't able to run anymore in life. Mm-hmm. But both times he has run, he's won because he got a head start.
Yeah. Now we have another message here from Traverse in Chicago. This is about the Switch, and this comes via voicemail.
Hey guys, this is Traverse from Chicago. One of my favorite things that you guys do on the podcast is come up with retcon theories to link everything together, and I had one of my own. that Newman in The Switch is going on vacation to Baltimore. And as we know from the letter, Elaine is from Baltimore because of the Baltimore Orioles cap that she refuses to take off. So is it possible Newman was going to Baltimore to learn more about the city in an effort to get in good with Elaine? Is this a retcon theory that you might have thought of? Are there any other retcon theories that you didn't discuss in an episode or thought of after you had recorded? Inquiring minds want to know. Thanks. Keep up the great work.
I never thought of that, but if you think about it, we could even go further and say, shut up. We could even say maybe Newman was going to profess his love to Elaine's father and ask for her hand. Can I date your daughter? Or, at least get on his good side.
That's very possible. I do like the question Travers asks at the end, are there any kind of like conspiracy theories, or trying to connect?
Love those.
I mean, we do a lot of those on the show, and unfortunately none come to mind, but we do hear from a lot of listeners, on trying to connect theories, which we love reading. They're hilarious.
Always send those in.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of them work, others don't really work, but it's still nice to connect things or look at maybe like a different joke that we didn't pick up on.
Yeah, it's fun. The whole journey is what's fun to propose and theorize. So even if we are wrong or way off base, it's still kind of cool. This instance, you want maybe go take in an Oriole game or kind of. Why of all places would he vacation in Baltimore?
You brought that up before. Is that like a
joke in itself,
or is it like a postal worker convention there, or
seemingly, possibly?
In fact, we got an email from a listener, Kelsey Barnes, about the ticket, and this isn't really like a conspiracy or connecting different plot lines, but she said in the ticket, you guys said the reason Jerry gets a bill for muffin sandwich and coffee is supposed to be funny because he got the same thing as the police officer. She thinks what happened is that the police officer was having Jerry pay for the policeman's food. Now, again, that might not really be the joke. Like, I still think it's because Jerry had the same order. But I like it whenever listeners write in, to try to connect things or look at things from a different point of view.
Of course. And the fact that Kelsey found it funny, depending on how you perceive the joke, you know what I mean? It's funny on two levels.
Absolutely. We have some more questions here. They're a little more quick fire. From Ryan Patrick. Has it ever bothered you that the layout of Monk's interior doesn't match the exterior of Tom's restaurant? Or am I the only one that finds that irritating?
Ryan and I must be best friends because that has always bugged me. Every time we visit Tom's in New York, I'm always a little disheartened as we cross the threshold and we see the inside of Tom's, nothing like the set of Monk's.
Absolutely.
So I want to put out a call to a millionaire or billionaire, whoever decides to build or recreate the Tom's restaurant. I don't know how you do it, but make the exterior and interior match real life and the show, please.
It's tough, man. This might have been the first thing I noticed about the show. The first time I thought beyond the jokes and the stories, and it really used to bug me initially, but now I really don't even think about it.
You accept it.
Yeah.
It's weird how that entrance, they're coming one way and then they have to completely turn to get into the diner.
I used to think,
not
like,
how Tom's
is there a back to the restaurant? But no, it's on a corner. Doesn't work.
We're at some weird nexus of the universe.
Next question comes from Quicks and Grips on Instagram. Jerry's chewing habits. When he's eating a bowl of cereal, he's looking like a horse with glue in his mouth. Exaggerated mouth movement. It's buggy.
That's perverse. Horse with glue in his mouth, but very funny.
What do you think of Jerry's chewing habits, Vinny?
I've always noticed the religious guy and good body. Every time he chews and talks, he does look like a horse. But I think Jerry should think twice before condemning others for their lip smacking and other eating habits if he's going to choose to chew that way.
His chewing habits just make me love him even more. I love it. It's that other side of Jerry. The fact that he'll crack in a scene, start laughing. I just like that he has a weird chewing habit.
Of course. There's some bloopers with him kind of, I think him and George are doing a scene and Jerry kind of spits up his cereal and Jason's like, "Oh, shit, man,"
Next question here comes from Christine Paul. What secondary character or actor from the series would you want to see have a significant role in Curb Season 9? Very interesting question. We're getting into Curb territory. Be careful, everyone. I know.
Watch out.
Some of you don't like it.
Earmuffs, people. I forgot that he was in the table read episode, but it'd be nice to see Wayne Knight mix it up with Larry in an adversarial role.
It's funny you mentioned the table read because I wrote down Steve Heitner.
Who is also in the table read.
Yeah, I would really like to see him. I'd like to see these characters. I wrote down Steve as a real prick or villain.
Yeah.
Some kind of adversary.
But, I mean, we've seen Jason play a grandized version of himself, so we could these still work. For some reason, I thought Wayne Knight had never been in a Curb episode.
Would he play himself in your version?
He would have to, because he's already been introduced as... We've already seen him as Wayne Knight, so it'd be silly. And, Larry loving continuity as he does.
Well, here's an actor that hasn't appeared on Curb yet. Danny Woodburn?
Ooh, that'd be good.
Again, as a villain or prick.
I'd love to see, Danny Woodburn kind of stealing a woman away from Larry or something, and they fight over it. Something like that.
Absolutely. Next question comes from Peter Corrier. What type of weapon and location would you like to see in a Seinfeldian caper a la Clue? Like Newman at the Jiffy Park with the brew line, or Lomez in the coffee shop with the fungicide?
This has to be the best question.
Oh, really?
Of all time. Well, it combines our two loves into one. Well done, Peter. I'm going to have to go the equine route with Rusty in the stagecoach with the horse manure. So apparently you can die from an odor.
Interesting. So you went like logical route. That's good. I just picked 3 random things. I said Pat Buckles at the opera with an astronaut pin.
Oh, I see what you did. You're actually playing the board game. Okay.
Yeah, I'm playing the board game. Well, and speaking of Clue and Seinfeld getting merged together, you actually have the board game, Vinny.
Yes, I do.
We played it years ago. I'm looking at the pieces online. There's like a golf clubs, bowl of cereal, beefarino. I guess these are the weapons.
Yes.
Cigar store Indian. Oh, the statue is on there too.
Nice.
It's a great board game if you guys can pick it up on Amazon. A lot of fun. Let's move over to a question here. An email from Matthew Martin. The main characters lived in Manhattan. Why didn't they eat more interesting food? Sushi, at the very least. Perhaps it's related to Jerry's cereal-based diet and Larry David's salad and smoothie-based diet. I'd love to hear your take.
I would actually argue they do eat interesting food. They had authentic Pakistani at the Dream Cafe, although it did close down shortly thereafter. They're waiting in Chinese restaurants. They're bringing home lobster wrapped in aluminum foil like a swan. But seriously, yeah, there was not a lot of exotic cuisine on the show. But maybe that was just a sign of the 90s. Was it kind of in vogue to eat out at, exotic locales back then? I don't recall that.
I kind of want to piggyback off that. I think New York has always had really good food, but I'm not entirely sure if the foodie culture was really a part of the 90s or had really taken off.
Right.
It's just my thought. I'm sure listeners who lived in New York at the time can agree or disagree, but I think the characters mainly ate what the creators liked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that was a big part of it.
And they probably kept it simple. The majority of the show was shot at Monk's, so it was going to be kind of American diner food. And then I was thinking, well, maybe it would be too hard to throw in an Indian restaurant or throw in a sushi place. But they've gone to Bouchard's and all various restaurants.
Well, I think
I mean?
I think of just what's classic New York. I think of delis and diners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like classic 70s and 80s New York, which is when these writers and creators grew up.
Right. All their experiences are pulled from that time period.
If you had a TV show now set in New York, I think you'd get a lot of foodie jokes and references, pop-ups. And
look at Master of None. Aziz Ansari goes to all these, unique restaurants, and he's, never mind.
Yeah. So, no worries. I'm too tired. Next question here comes from Tiki Kimball.
Am I wrong? Everything was American Joe, hot dog stand. I'm sorry.
Okay. Next question comes from Tiki Kimball. What are some Seinfeld moments thus far that you've experienced in your own life? Like, has Matt ever dated someone who sounds like Elmer Fudd sitting on a juicer? Has Vinny ever participated in a contest?
Well, I have eaten M&Ms with a spoon.
That's a Seinfeld experience.
And Matt, didn't you participate in your own contest in college?
Yes.
You talked about that, right?
Unfortunately, this is the second time I'm bringing this up, but I had my own contest in college to see how long I could go without gratifying myself.
And you were solely up against yourself, right?
Yeah, I didn't. To me, it's a little perverse to include other people and talk about it. I just wanted to do it on my own. which I guess that's masturbation, but it was inspired by that 40 Days, 40 Nights movie with Josh Hartnett.
We just watched that yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for that. I'm like, that's interesting. And I did it. My record, I think, was like 45 or 46 days.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's a weird thing to be talking about on a podcast, but...
You're really shining this episode. Did you take into account, like, did Seinfeld enter your mind when you decided to do this?
Oh, definitely. But I have to give credit to that. Like, I wanted to make 40 Days because of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But in the Seinfeld universe, we have to assume it's only like a week. And these characters are, like, bouncing off the walls.
Right, yeah. They need to gratify themselves that much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of other, dating a close talker or a long, things like that. And I can't seem to recall something that, happened to me naturally that took place in the Seinfeld universe.
Well, I think there's a lot of little things, a lot of little Seinfeld moments that are part of everyone's life. You brought up regifting. You're guilty of that.
Yeah.
There was a restaurant a few blocks from our house that we always pass by, and no one was ever in there. So we're like, we gotta go.
Very cool.
The cafe. In college, I was very guilty of like the pony remark. I hate anyone that's ever had a pony.
Mm-hmm.
I would always put my foot in my mouth in college.
Yeah.
I'd pick the most random topic, and I'd wind up insulting someone.
Mm-hmm.
You remember with Catherine at the lunch table? I don't know if you were there then, but I said something stupid about grandparents, and her grandfather had just died.
Yeah,
the night
I heard
before,
about that.
and I'm like, ugh. This is why I don't have any friends.
Ooh.
What about you, though? Anything that's coming to mind, or?
I was thinking when I dated the girl who was pagan,
Mm-hmm.
I would, like, that makes me think of a Seinfeld-like episode where it'd be called The Witch. Like, you date a girl who thinks she's a witch. You know what I mean? But that's
Right.
not an actual Seinfeld episode.
Were you
I'm just
going
thinking
to convert to Wiccan?
No.
Nothing like that. I like the hats. We have a question here from Josh Cloak. He was wondering if we could throw a few trivia questions at each other on the spot. Do you have any?
Well, I accidentally revealed it earlier, but the name of Kessler's dog in the pilot.
Oh, I actually missed you saying that.
Oh, good. Now, this wasn't mentioned in the show. It was in the script, and I think we talked about it, hopefully, in the pilot.
It's not Riley. That's not it.
You got the right letter.
Yes. Oh, you mean the R is the right letter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thinking of a John Goodman movie where he's king for a day. Come on, people. Help him out. You don't know John Goodman movie that has king in the title.
King Ronald?
No. I'm done.
What do you got?
Ralph.
King Ralph? I've never heard of that.
You never heard of King Ralph?
No.
Yeah, John Goodman. He's all right.
All right. Well,
I would love to go toe-to-toe with you with trivia, but you're such a connoisseur nowadays. You know everything.
Apparently not. Here, I've got a question for you. This is from...
This podcast stinks.
This is from the Czechs, and this is really unfair. Can you name all 3 Japanese tourists that are sleeping in Kramer's drawers?
Oh, Mr. O is one of them, right?
Very good.
Good night, Mr. O. Good night. Is it Takayama?
No.
No.
It's Tanaka.
Tanaka.
And the last one begins with a Y.
Not Yamaguchi.
Yes, there you go.
It is Yamaguchi?
Yes, congratulations.
2 out of 3.
Not bad. We really need to go toe-to-toe. Maybe we could try like a special trivia episode where like I could ask questions and our listeners could play.
Who does Jerry confuse Dom DeLuise with?
I'd never heard of this guy until that episode. He was the chef because they have the white hat. I forget. What is it?
Paul Perdeau.
Oh, there it is.
It's Al Roker and...
Mark.
Mark McEwen.
There it is.
And Dom DeLuise and Paul Perdeau.
No, they're both chubby Weathermen.
Weber.
That's going to do it for our Seinfeld-related questions. We have a few off-topic questions here. First up, AJ Sherman from Queens. Vinny, he has a question specifically for you, and this is about Mike Myers, the actor. I think he's bringing him up since we have a lot of Wayne's World references on the show. It seems likely that with all the 90s nostalgia and constant franchise reboots, eventually we will get a new Mike Myers entry into one of his classic franchises somewhere down the line. Which franchise, Vinny, would you prefer Mike Myers to return to? I think he's talking about, what, Wayne's World or Austin Powers?
Or So I Married an Axe Murderer.
I don't know if that's a franchise, but...
Every time I hear A.J. Sherman, I think he owns that watch shop on Columbus, and it's Jimmy Sherman, though.
Yes.
But this is a great question, scratching me right where I itch. I would actually like to see Wayne and Garth revisited to see where the guys are in 2016. Like, I say that, but then I think of that period, early 90s, the jeans with the ripped holes, that like metal hair, the love of the classic rock and, you know, hair metal.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be kind of a dying breed of person nowadays. So I don't know if it would translate well to 2016. But having said that, we just saw Dana Carvey and Mike Myers reprise their roles as Wayne and Garth on SNL in 2011. Remember?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I loved every second of it. So I don't know if they'd be able to pull off a whole movie. I would go see it, but I don't know if it would, you know, pull in the bucks that would warrant doing a movie. But maybe seeing them revisited as a sketch every couple years would be, you know, more than adequate for me.
I mean, this kind of ties into Seinfeld. You know, some people are very serious about like a new season of Seinfeld, or it's kind of ironic, you know, with Seinfeld 2000, like put it back on TV. But I'm always worried about bringing older actors to their characters. It always feels kind of sad in a way. It
feels forced. Yeah, it's not the same. Like, we have these wonderful 9 seasons. Let's leave it as it is.
But I love, for some reason, I love the idea of Wayne and Garth again, especially if they're really washed up and they're too old to still be wearing those clothes and into that kind of music, maybe, or that lifestyle.
Because they'd be in their 50s now. Like, they'd probably have kids that are, you know, in school or going to college kind of thing.
Oh, see, maybe they should. I still see Wayne living at his parents' house.
In his basement?
Yeah, like I still see them. Well, he is in the second one, technically. They moved to that loft, but...
You know what would be cool is let them, instead of do a movie, do a TV series where they just do the public access show once a week.
Mm-hmm.
And you only see them for 30 minutes, but it's as if you're seeing, you know, cable access. See that slate of the camera guy.
Mm-hmm, like their own talk show.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I could see Netflix, of all people, of all companies, doing like a Wayne's World 3 or something like that. Kind of like that Pee-wee movie that came out recently.
That's right. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Any good?
I prefer the Tim Burton Big Adventure.
Okay. Now, I went on IMDb to see if there were any other 90s movies Mike Myers could reboot. It says on there Austin Powers 4 is announced.
I don't know what that means, really. Okay. I think Austin Powers 4 has been talked about since the third one.
Okay.
And
under... It says Mike Myers rumored, so it's not...
It's nothing confirmed.
So never mind. You didn't hear it here first.
Getting back to AJ's question, though, I think Austin Powers 4 is more likely, just because I think that's a more profitable...
Everybody knows it. And I loved 1 and 2. 3 was, so-so, but I really enjoy that character.
Mm-hmm.
So they could bring him back easily.
For sure. Well, we have one other topic here from listener Brandon Powell via voicemail.
Hi, this is Brandon Powell calling from Portland, Oregon. Anyway, this is more of a Seinfeld related question. Matt, I feel like you've yet to really give us your thoughts on The Force Awakens. So, on a scale of, say, English Patient to Firestorm, what did you think? Also, any thoughts about the upcoming spin-offs? Thanks, guys.
Wow, Brandon sounded really comfortable on the phone there. Was he eating an apple? I love that attention to detail, if that was the case.
Nice. Well, great question. I love talking Star Wars. If we could talk Star Wars as much as we talk about Seinfeld, I'd be very happy. I'd say Seinfeld and Star Wars are tied for like my 2 favorite franchises. Vinny, you and I saw The Force Awakens together, which was, I think we've brought up before on the podcast. It was a great experience.
Opening day.
But 7 months has passed. I think the movie has settled in. We're able to revisit it at home. Mm-hmm. I have the Blu-ray. You stream it. I want to keep this short because I'll just ramble on for way too long if I haven't already. The movie left me feeling a little flat. Like, I'm just not inspired by it the way I was with the original trilogy or even the prequels for that matter. I mean, the prequels are not amazing films by any means, but at least there's new stuff in them. You know, hate it or love it, it's all new material. And George Lucas, I think, took a lot of chances with those movies, and I actually really respect him for that. Whereas with The Force Awakens, it just didn't feel like they were taking any chances. Yeah, there was new stuff, but it was too familiar for me to really get behind and really want to sink my teeth into this like new universe that they've created. I'm really waiting for Episode 8 to blow me away, the way I was expecting Force Awakens to. And I understand, I think J.J. Abrams himself said we have to go back to go forward. So, you know, they had to do the familiar plot lines and visuals in order to kind of cleanse the palate. But it kind of sucks that, you know, we're just looking at nostalgia more than original new stories.
Yeah, it definitely, and I'm more of the casual fan, keep in mind. I loved it, seeing it. I was like, this is great, you know, updated, brand new. But the more I watch it, the more it feels like a just familiar New Hope. But they had to kind of play it safe given what happened with the prequels and the scrutiny that everybody puts it under. And then the money that went into this, it had to be, they had to do what they knew worked. So it seems like the chances will be taken in Episode 8 versus 7. They want it to be mainstream, appeal to the masses. Mm-hmm. So I think the Star Wars fanboys, maybe those are the people that maybe got left out a little bit with this installment.
It's not a bad thing. I just respect the movie a whole lot more for trying something new and failing than just kind of just like the clip show itself. Mm-hmm. Kind of like going back to the classic moments. Mm-hmm. I always respect something for trying something new or different, taking a chance. But I haven't watched Force Awakens in a while. I'm actually reading a lot of the expanded universe now that like it takes place around like the time between Jedi and Force Awakens. So I'm very interested to see what they're doing. I'm just hoping with future episode movies that they're going to take more risks and try to expand the universe as opposed to making it very close and intimate.
Mm-hmm. You excited for the Rogue One?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not.
Are you scared about the reshoots?
Not at all. I think that every movie budget has money set aside for reshoots. It's very common, just like with ADRs. Mm-hmm. More expensive than ADRs, but it's still factored into the production. I'm just not too excited about Disney kind of running Star Wars.
Yeah.
Again, people crap all over George Lucas, and I totally get it. You need someone that you can, like a whipping boy, but there's something about his vision, and I think a certain quality he brought to.
It's going to be lost, with the transition from him to Lucasfilm to Disney.
Yeah, it's too commercial now, and it's too corporate, and it's too like, let's play it safe. Like, we have a formula, let's follow it. And I feel like that's what we're going to see in a lot of these movies. I'm just hoping that the directors that they get for these individual movies can bring a lot of their sort of like filmmaking skills to the story and how the films are presented. So it's not just carbon copy of another Star Wars film of another Star Wars film. I think we're going to get exhausted of them eventually.
Mm-hmm. Stop spending money on unnecessary wars. Well, unless they're Star Wars.
Is that a Mitch Hedberg joke?
No, Walt said that.
Oh. Well, let's move on to our last segment here. We have a few questions from listeners all about Seincast itself, about the production. First question here comes from Justin Tapp. He writes in, I'd like to know about the behind-the-scenes stuff, the stories behind the stories, if you will. Specifically, I'm curious about how much time out of your week Seincast takes between watching the episodes, taking notes, recording the show, editing in post, and listener interactions. So that's a great question. I don't think we've ever, gotten that before. Vinny, you and I usually complain and bitch and moan about how long just watching an episode takes.
Every week.
Mm-hmm. How long do you usually put into your note-taking?
I will watch the episode once and take my notes, my thoughts, what stood out to me that I liked, disliked, kind of do a little bit of research on each guest star for that week. And then I'll do a second watch and, listen to the commentary track or, inside looks or any type of trivia that comes up in the episode. And that's kind of, I'll leave it at that. So 2 watches, maybe a third, but usually 2 for me. Mm-hmm. And then I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm about the same. What I'll do first is I'll pour over the trivia sections, commentary, interviews, notes about nothing, and pull anything from that I really like. And then I will watch the episode and do beat by beat jokes and storylines and really flesh those out. And then usually right before we record, I watch the episode without taking notes just to kind of get a nice solid 22 uninterrupted minutes. But then after we take notes, recording takes a while. I'd say typically we cut out about, if an episode is an hour and a half, we usually cut out about, I'd say 15 to 20 minutes. That comes from like false starts or if one of us has to go to the bathroom, it happens. But usually recording, let's say, takes 2 hours. And then editing itself, that takes a long time.
That's all Matt does, by the way. I do nothing with the editing.
Yeah, that can take anywhere between, 3 to 6 hours sometimes. It really sucks when the computer crashes and you lose all your work and you have to go back and cut it again.
And how many times has it happened where we lost the recording and we had to go back and redo an episode, re-record an episode?
Too many times. I'd say probably
2 or 3.
Oh, I was going to say 6 or 7.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. That's always rough. Recently, we recorded and I didn't update Skype. So when I listened to the recording afterwards, you spoke normal speed. Mine was sped up. It was doubled. I sounded like a chipmunk. It was insane. So we had to re-record that. And there have been some instances where, like we record and the whole file's corrupted. It happens. So to answer your question, Justin, I would say with the note-taking, the editing, the posting, all of that, all the stuff to do online, I'd say probably 10 hours each week. Takes a lot, yeah.
Labor of love.
Yeah, definitely. Next question here comes from Bart Pickard. Can you do this episode as a video podcast so we can see the clips you play?
Bart!
a little late for that one, but I definitely think that's something we could do in the future. Either do a live recording or play video clips. That's something we'll have to look into, but thanks for writing in, Bart.
Can we do a Mystery Science Theater kind of thing where you see the back of our heads, one bald guy, one big guy with a bulbous head watching a screen with Seinfeld?
Speaking of franchises coming back, Netflix is doing Mystery Science Theater.
Ooh.
With Joel, the original host. So Wayne's World 3 is next. Next question here comes from Adam Goldberg. Did the main characters, I think he means actors, know about Seincast? I remember you saying you met Larry and told him, but did Jerry, Jason, Michael, and Julia know? And how likely are they ever to appear on the show?
Well, Larry knows. You met him outside of Fish in the Dark, and you made it a point to mention Seincast to him. Seincast? What is that? What is it? A podcast?
What is it, a podcast?
Yeah, it's called Seincast. Seincast. Thank you for the autograph. Okay. I really appreciate it. This means a lot.
Thank you, Mr. David.
Yeah, take it easy.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You signed that right. Thank you.
Seincast. Yeah, do you mind if I give you a card and be really sleazy?
That was Larry's response. So Larry's aware. He's aware. And we tried to make it known to Jerry during the AMA. The past 2 years, he's done AMAs on Reddit. And we've mentioned, I do a podcast with my friend. Insert question here, which he never responded to. So
well, and also anytime you try to promote yourself on Reddit, you'll just be downvoted immediately.
Yeah. So I would guess that none of the main 4 know about this.
Yeah, well, out of the main 4, I think Jason is probably is likely to be the most aware, since he has responded to a few of our tweets. And, we do tag him on things. So he does manage his Twitter account. We tag Julia sometimes on Twitter, but I highly doubt that Jerry or Michael has heard of us.
Yeah.
As to how likely will we get any of the main 4 on the podcast, or even Larry for that matter, right now, not very likely. Not bloody likely. But I don't want to be negative. Like, you never know. I'd rather say, why not? Like, why couldn't we get one of the main 4 on the podcast, or Larry for that matter?
A dream come true.
Absolutely. And I'll never say it's impossible or it will never happen. I'm always holding out hope that somehow the stars will align and either we'll get an opportunity to talk to them, or someone knows someone who can put us in touch. And God, even if it's 2 minutes, what I mean? Just to like talk with them, and we're recording it on our phone. Like, it doesn't matter.
They're the ones who will say it's impossible and it's never going to happen, not us.
Excellent point. So, as long as we're doing this podcast, I think it's always a possibility. Last question here comes from Bray McKee. Who are your dream interviewees for the next couple of years? Jerry and Larry are obvious, but any that you are pretty confident you could land. Well, throwing it to you, Vinny, who's a dream interviewee?
Let's see. What looks good?
Since we're looking into the future here, it's anyone from the series, not just the first 100 episodes.
True. I mean, we met Steve Heitner, and he was incredibly gracious, so it'd be great to reach out to him.
Yeah.
We've already encountered his character, so now sounds like a good time. But we got Larry Miller coming on deck, and I know he's got a podcast, so maybe we could reach out to him. He plays the doorman in an upcoming episode. Who else is here? I think the actors that may have appeared on 1 or 2 episodes, they'd be the most willing to want to kind of reach out and share their experience with the single episode they did. Or even some writers, for that matter.
I was going to say, Jennifer Armstrong told me when I interviewed her about her book Seinfeldia how willing and open the writers were to talk, because no one ever reaches out to them. No one wants to talk about the guys you never see.
But they're the guys who put the funny words in the other guys' mouths.
Mm-hmm. Alec Berg, Dave Mendel, Carol Leifer. I mean, there's so many out there. We've talked to Peter Mullman twice now, which has just been excellent. Tom Leopold as well. But yeah, if we could get a ton of writers on here, that would just mean a lot, because they have like the most trivia about the show.
Spike Fierstein.
Oh, Spike Fierstein, another great writer. We have Jackie Chiles coming up next season, so I'd love to talk to Phil Morris. That would be really fascinating. Now, I'm not as confident, but there's 2 people that I'm dying to talk to, and this is excluding the main 4 or Larry. First up is Heidi Swedberg. I want to talk to Susan so badly, mainly because of, what happened over the past couple of years with Jason making those comments about how it was really difficult working with her. She's now a ukulele instructor out in California, so she's totally left acting behind her. And I'd really like to talk to her, not just about Seinfeld or Jason. That's not it. I really want to get to know what kind of person this is, someone who walked away from acting. But the person that I want to talk to the most out of anyone on Seinfeld at this very moment is Jerry Stiller. And he's not just, a guy with Seinfeld trivia. He's, a comedy legend. He would have stories going all the way back to the 60s.
Stiller and Mira.
Yeah.
King of Queens.
Mm-hmm. Zoolander. But what about you? Are there any other dream interviewees, actors? Or?
I mean, this guy's too big for us, but Bryan Cranston, to hear his 5 episodes is Watley.
Mm-hmm.
Although I've heard he's really nice. Like he sent signed scripts, Seinfeld scripts to guys as gifts, and but he's I don't know if he's gettable.
I love the idea of reaching out to a very famous celebrity only to talk about their appearance on Seinfeld. Like,
yeah, we don't care. Yeah,
we want to talk to you about that NBC sitcom, Seinfeld.
We don't give a shit about that AMC thing you were on, Bryan Cranston. Let's talk about Tim Watley.
Absolutely, yeah. But the sky's the limit. Who knows what's possible over the next couple of years? But our mindset is, from a one-off single-shot character to Larry David himself, anything is possible. Well, thank you, everyone, so much for listening.
That was nice of you to put up with us. Thank you.
Yes, but especially thank you for making Seincast what it is. We can do the show every week, but it's really your support, whether you're subscribing, sending us emails, leaving a review, or just telling a friend about the podcast. It's all that really helps us grow and hopefully get better. But not really. Just want to say thanks to everyone. And Vinny, thank you. And,
Thank you for... I put in 2 hours. You put in 12.
No.
Big difference.
I could not do the show with anyone else other than you. So thanks a lot for showing up. And I had you sign your contract this morning. You have 80 more episodes to go.
Oy vey. I'll be here.
So strap in, buddy boy. You're in it for the long haul.
All right, that's going to do it for us here on Seincast this week. You know the drill. You can reach out to us at seincast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, or Instagram.
Vinny, what episode do we have next week?
Next week, we're discussing the 16th episode of Season 6, The Beard. We're talking Tupperware, toupees, Melrose Place.
Oh, I hate that Michael. He's just so smug.
For now, I'm Vinny.
I'm Matt.
Signing off.
Seincast is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders.
Howdy guys, it's Jim from Phoenix. Wanted to tell you guys you're doing a fantastic job. Keep it up. Happy 100.
Hey guys, this is Jim calling from Brooklyn. I got nothing.